What's going on, you guys? Kenny here, also known as SilentFan85. Welcome to another vlog. This is going to be take two. I was going to do this as a serious mode, but I just got home. I just want to chat a little bit with some stuff and give you guys some thoughts on different things. I got a small list here. And first thing I want to talk about, hopefully quick, I don't know how long this video will run, but a person's character. What does that mean to some people? You know, some people, some folks, when you think character, it doesn't really go deeper than maybe a video game character or something to that manner. Character in a movie. But in real life, we have our own character, which represents who we are, our nature, so on and so forth. And for younger generations, you'll learn that as you get older, you're going to run into different people with different characters. Some good, some bad, some positive, some negative, some that'll give, some that'll take, and anywhere in between. And you're going to run into extreme ends of the spectrum. Very, very positive people, possibly naive to some point. Very, very negative people, some that have pretty much given up any hope of so on and so forth. But a majority of people is a mixture of the in-between. And for me, personally, character is reflected in everything I do. It's every video I do, every social media post I do, every stream I do, every word written, every word repeated, and I own that. You know, I own that. Anything in my I tend to have a pretty dirty nature. Any perverse comments, dirty words, adult content, adult language. Every so often there might be a negative comment that I put out there. I try to keep it mostly positive. If I had to ratio my life, I would say there's anything I put out there is about 90% positive, maybe 10% negative, unconsciously. I am human, and that's a whole key thing. You're human. And so again, for me, everything I put on this channel, everything on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, whatever, that's a part of who I am. And I guess that's the main aspect, is your character reflected on social media. Because obviously that's brand new to the world for the most part. We have generations that are growing up that didn't know life without social media. And it's a discussion I had with somebody the other day about what is social media novelty? Can you really trust a person's post to know that that's the kind of person they are? And again, to me, all of this is an extension of you as a person. So that's why everything I put out there, it'll get back eventually. Especially if you're a streamer or, minor celebrity, whatever. It's out there and it's permanent. And it's the reason I do it is because I want to stay mostly positive and really try to bring a message to people, maybe even to help them. And maybe this will help you, I don't know. But it's definitely something I wanted to bring up and discuss. And it's a reflection, it really is, to me. And I may be naive in believing that anything anybody posts on social media reflects who they really are. I don't know, but I will admit that some you do need to take with a grain of salt, because it may just be one part of that person, and that's the key. For me personally, it may be one part, but it's all backed up by my character. So again, that's just something I want to throw in there. And so as you go through life, try to build up a good character. Try to influence people in a good way, because every word you put out there, every action you make, anytime you even look at somebody, a smile, something like that, chances are it could affect them. So try to make it positive. Something that's obviously been in the media lately, Millennials, Generation X, Generation Y, so on and so forth. All of these different generations of people. Nowadays, Millennials are getting a bad rep for the most part. They're being called lazy, they're being called unproductive, they're being called babies, snowflakes, whatever. The point I want to make is, this is nothing new. This has been going on for ages, and for younger generations, don't sweat this bullshit. Because older generations have been complaining about younger generations, and younger generations have been complaining about older generations for forever. Since humanity has been what it has been. And it's nothing new. Every generation goes after every other generation. And it's very prevalent nowadays too, especially with social media. Social media works into this too, because obviously in the age of social media, things have changed. This is not just some one-offs that maybe somebody heard, and it made it across the country by way of hearsay. No, we're obviously more connected nowadays than we've ever been, and this shit can run rampant. So hopefully reminding people that this is nothing new about a generation being called lazy, unproductive, get a job, quit whining, all this bullcrap. It's nothing new. To me, it's a scapegoat. It's just playing the blame game for the most part. But again, it's been happening. It really has. And I count myself as a millennial. I'm very, very close to that mark. I think I'm right on the razor's edge. If anything, I think I'm a zennial. I was born in '85, January of '85, and I grew up in an age without technology, without social media. Grew up with payphones, all kinds of stuff. Even back then, you were hearing people complaining about things left and right. Generations, especially in my teenage years, people complained about the older generation, and they complained about the divorce rate in the generation and how these people couldn't keep it together. They couldn't hold their marriage together because they were born in this year. Their parents didn't raise them right, so on and so forth. Again, it's a bunch of bullshit that's been going on for forever. So it's nothing new. So my advice would be don't sweat it. You know, it's just how it is in society. People are always going to complain about something. There's always got to be something to complain about. So maybe that'll help you. I hope it does. Next thing is nothing new here on the channel. Last thing on the list, life in general. Life is a small, big word because it encompasses everything. It encompasses our emotions, our surroundings, our day-to-day interactions, our physical body, our brain, how long we have on this planet, so on and so forth. And it's the life we live, it's the lives we encounter, it's the lives we impact. It's hoping other lives have a good life, helping other lives stay healthy if we can help it, wishing the best for other lives. There's a lot to encompass to that, and so it's a very broad spectrum. But a couple of things I wanted to touch on, aside from the whole character and the whole millennials thing. And I know this is rambling, but and again, I send this out to younger generations. For those that are watching this, and you're still new to life, you're still new to the whole experience. Life isn't a set road. It took me a while to learn this, and I'm relaying it because it may help. And it affected me to such an extent to really come to this conclusion. I had a lot of mental problems dealing with the fact that things are not a certain way. And it wasn't due to the fact that I was spoiled or I didn't want to understand, so on and so forth. No, I seriously had the way I've been diagnosed, there are problems accepting the way some things are. I'm dealing with that, you know, I'm dealing with that, and I know there are other folks that are going to be the same way. But there are different facets to life. You can't expect life to be a solid state. It's going to change and change rapidly sometimes. Sometimes it'll stay even for a while, but then you're going to go through storms. You're going to go through a bunch of bullshit. But that's just the way life is. And it sounds tiring. And to be honest, it is. It is very tiring, especially as you get older. Especially as your body starts to develop problems. Or you learn that you went through something, and in my experience, you went through something and then it pops up later on you in life. It just like, bah, you know, throws you totally off track. You connect with people. You're going to disconnect with people. Sometimes in a hard way, sometimes in a soft way. If you get married, you know, That's something you got to deal with. So it really does depend on the choices you make in life, how lucky maybe you are to be born into a family that is a certain way, or if you come from money. It's a hard truth in life that unfortunately, in my personal views, I think it's total bullshit. But money does make things a bit easier. I think it also devoids people of certain things, but at the same time, if you're born into money, if you have money, it does make things easier. Um, so that is something to keep in mind. My advice would be though that if you're going to work your ass off for money, make sure it's not all for money. Make sure it is to enriching yourself, to help the world better. But don't just hoard money. Set enough aside for retirement. Set enough aside to where you can live a comfortable life at the minimum. But don't work to become greedy. Don't do all this and that. For the folks like me that live paycheck to paycheck, that came from a home where money was always a problem. My mom scrounged, did what she could, worked 3 jobs just to keep food on the table, to keep a roof over our heads. Coming from that, you learn things that some people that come from money, that were raised in money, didn't learn, and that's a fact too. A lot of people would debate that, but you learn to appreciate certain things depending on your background. So that would be, but that's just the truth of life. And life overall, again, it's an entire map. There's no set road. It's going to change. It's going to evolve. You're going to do the same. And you got to adapt. You've got to change. Remain who you are. Remain true to your character. But be willing to modify certain things in your life to help you get through it and to help you carry on. You only get so much time. And if you believe in reincarnation, you obviously get a lot of times. Me, I'm still working on the whole religious aspect and spirituality and everything, and I might get into that in another video, but just remember that at the base of it all, life is awesome, and it is worth it. And you guys know my story. For those that don't, I'll go into it at some point, but there have been dark spots, but I'm still here, still trying to spread a message, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you continue to thrive. If you're thriving, if you're trying to survive, survive. But remember to live. And always remember that you're awesome. And never let the world tell you otherwise. I'll cut this here, and I'll see you next time. Peace.